Okay, let's go ahead and turn on our computers. Hello, good morning. So just real fast, I saw that we have like one upload for the breaking news special. Um, did everybody get a chance to do it? Thumbs up. Moliere, what is that?
I did like the notes. I just need to film it.
Oh boy. Okay. Okay. All right. Yikes. Let's do this. If you have it, go ahead and share it. Share your breaking news. If you didn't film it, then that assignment is late, and then we'll just go ahead and transition and share out our poems. All right. What you're supposed to do if you guys go into, I gotta shut the door. Hang on. If you guys go into your Canvas, just real quick. Okay, we are on, it should say 4.6. Okay, week 7, Lord of the Flies. We are going to be saying goodbye to Piggy. That was really sad.
Always so sudden. You never know.
Right. It's really jacked up actually. Okay. So if you guys look, that first section of this week's module, week 6, it should say week 7. Sorry about that. Week 7, Lord of the Flies. Today's our last, well, this week is our last week with Lord of the Flies, and then we're going to transition on. What we have here is you're supposed to share your breaking news today. Okay, so if you guys don't have that ready to go, then just share out your poems and then go ahead and comment on each other's poems. So you're going to put this in the discussion text down below. Okay, just a share out just to have everybody see what you guys did for a poem. So make sure you choose one of the actual poem that you're most proud of. Okay, so if it's the Simon poem, great. If it's the other one that you chose to write about, great. Okay. Other than that, we'll give you guys about 10 minutes. If you guys look at the reading schedule just for a second, okay, we're going to be kind of reading the last part of chapter 12. We'll say goodbye to Piggy if you haven't already. And then we're going to work on the partner project for this last assignment for Lord of the Flies. Okay, and then if you guys look just real fast, right? We have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 weeks till the final exam.
Because they pushed it up a week, right?
I think so. Because I thought we were done on the 24th.
And now it's the 20th.
Yeah, and so if you guys look, it's really important for not only this class, but your other classes. If you have fallen behind, you have 3 weeks to basically bring up your grade and then take the final. Okay, so just as a heads up as well, we are going to be doing a performance task final. So you're gonna have to perform your knowledge. All right, so just a heads up on that. Does everybody understand what that is? It's not gonna be an essay. Okay, it's not gonna be like a 100-point multiple final, right? Multiple guest final. Okay, it's gonna be a performance. So I think some of you guys are pretty good at writing poems. I think some of you guys are good at drawing. Some of you guys are really good in front of the camera. Okay, so you're gonna have to figure it out and you're gonna do it in partners. Okay, so just a heads up on that. Okay, alrighty. I'm gonna throw you guys into groups. So the people that are cohort B, you're going to be grouped together. Okay, and then the people in this room, you guys can be together. Then you can talk like normal people. Okay. So let's see. Oh, that perfectly worked out. Okay, you guys ready? You guys have your poems up and running? Okay. Breaking news, all of that. Did you guys upload that? Okay, look at your face. What is that face, Uakel? I know. Okay.
Drifts away.
I'll go. This is my poem for Simon. Frightened to speak, shrink and dwindle, something so strange, distant and strange devours you, it happens. You could not endure the reality in man. You who dared to know you crawled and stepped and walked against the forest, one vision in mind, scrawny and helpless, a boy who could not handle this. Violence and terror and panic, a small child cannot withstand darkness. Out of the wasteland float up and high, flying above the clouds with the world below him, resting on the moon next to the stars, to the child who sought peace, farewell.
I'll go. This one's for Simon.
Could you
Stag-
hang on? Could you share the words on your screen while you guys are reading it out loud so that everybody can follow along?
Can you see it? Okay, stagnant silence thickly hangs in the atmosphere. The independent loner comfortably relaxes in solitude. A brave explorer eagerly wandering in bliss, a daring adventurer courageously travels at ease. The quiet observer silently watches in stillness. This nervous bystander cautiously speaks out. A new theory is warily posed by the eager realist. Overbearing angst heavily weighs him down. Relentless truth willingly waits in anticipation. The frantic messenger desperately reaches out.
I like also that you wrote about the boar.
Yeah,
How's it going, you guys?
We're done. I don't know where Kanika went.
Oh, do you guys all share your poems?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't. Did you guys comment on each other's? You guys got to comment on each other's? I better go find Kaike. I think he's waiting in the main room. No pressure. Why? We're just having fun. This is a safe place. If we can't be safe in here, I don't know where we can be safe. Oh my gosh, is this going to be funny? Okay, let's just try it. Kamakani's a little apprehensive about his breaking news, but we're going to cheer him on, right, girls? Okay, see, it's supportive over here. Okay, wait, hang on. Maybe I could do it. You know, this kind. We love Mondays, yeah. All kinds of things happen on Mondays. We just have to be like, well, it's a Monday. Okay. Ooh. Okay, we are having technical difficulties because it's a Monday. Do you think you can like disconnect your earphones and then just play your video from your, let's try that. Oh wait, I have it here. Let me help you. Did it work? Am I joking? Oh. Okay. You know what? Look, mine says 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours left. This is not working. Okay, we're gonna move on, clearly. It's not working? You know what? Try it from your end, Kamakani. I was trying to save you, Kamakani, but
No laugh, yeah.
To bring you Samoa news. So first thing is Jose Brother Kyoki from Samoa News, and I'm here to bring you Samoa news. So first thing is we're on the island of the flies. Okay, it's nuts over here. So what I found out was after the first night that they saw Simon as the beast, bruh. They was in a plight after that night. So what had happened was Ralph and Piggy, they was discussing everything, but they wasn't on plight. And then the second thing is that when Ralph's group tried to meet up with Jack, Bago's Jack, they still had fidelity towards Jack because they trust him and they was faithful to him. And you know what? The third thing, boo, is that when they went to go join up with Jack was like, nah, bruh, cannot. Jack was belligerent towards Ralph's group. But that's it, It is how it is, boo. It is how it is. But anyways, that was Samoa News, bringing you Samoa News. Mahalo.
Oh my gosh. If there's extra credit, that was it. Okay, honey, could you share yours? And while we're at it, we might as well just share yours. Samoa News, reporting Samoa News. Brilliant.
Previously, in Chapter 9, the boys all participated in a frenzy, killing Simon, a beloved member among them. Ralph, the leader of half of the boys, realized their monstrosity and what they had done. He and his boys have come to a consensus to avoid their obvious sin and forget about it as best they could.
Very cool. Yeah. Okay, so those of you guys who did not finish, okay, those are two really good examples.
It was good.
Kamakani, that was hilarious. Okay, just to let you guys know, like I had a really good Friday this past Friday because my sophomores are preparing for their slam poetry, and I left school like on such a like euphoric state because my students were putting out their best effort, and let's just continue that vibe. I mean, Kamakani, that was really cool. Okay, and like that tells me that you feel safe enough with our class to do those kinds of things. And I think that we all win, okay? Because not only did Kamakani put himself out there, we got to see it, okay? And then Tehani's display of her membing game is off the hook, right? So I think you could use your Membean words when you get interviewed for your pageant aspiration. That's great. Okay, so you see how Membean can totally relate to your real life ongoing. So I think that's really cool. Okay, so anyway, if you haven't finished, I look forward, or we all look forward to seeing the rest of our classmates work. Okay, so get that done. All right. Wow, I think, yeah, those two definitely extra credit pieces. So thank you. Thank you for the morning giggles on a Monday with our technical difficulties. All right, so let's try to do more technical difficulties, I guess. All right, so let's get into the chat just real fast, okay? Just real fast. I want to know what you guys think about Roger. Yep. Okay, so go ahead in the chat. Tell me about Roger. From these chapters we just read. No swear words, please. Oh, yes, very good. Yeah, taking notes is kind of an interesting thing because it's such a personal task, right? And so there's sometimes where I want you to take notes in your notebook, and then, but then when you think about like the process of using your notes, like it makes more sense to have it digitized. So look at that, right? Oh, could you drop that into where everybody can see it? Yeah. Nice.
Oh, that was the same thing.
Yep. That is a, oh, there he is. Hi, Kaike, are you having the Monday technical difficulties? Looks like bummers. Us too. We can't do some things. That's okay. We're going to move on. So in the chat, what we're doing is we're giving our best feedback on Roger. What do you think about Roger? So McKenna, what did you do? Did you like go back and
So I have so at the end of the day I have to take notes in my notebook, and then I found it easier to do on my laptop. So as I was looking back at the notes, I noted that he was throwing rocks at the little ones, and I was like, he wasn't so carefree on this one. Like he just did it, or like he was carefree on this one. Like he didn't really care.
right? Okay, very good. I think I have my mask upside down. Oh, very good. Okay, let's get going. We'll have McKenna, you can go ahead and talk stories first about the whole process of knowing Roger, because it seems like you guys that Roger just pops out of nowhere. But when you look back at your notes, he was going down a really evil path. Okay, so McKenna, you can start us off and then we'll continue.
Okay, so in the beginning of the book, we see that when the boys are all one group, we see that Roger is throwing like stones and rocks at the little ones, but he intentionally misses because of the civilness that his parents taught him growing up. But when he releases the big boulder down on Piggy, that would mess Ralph went down on Piggy. We see like that civilization is removed because he didn't care. He just wanted his tribe to win, or the tribe he was a part of to win. So I think the more these boys stay on the island, the more the civilization is washed away from them and taken away.
Well done. And I feel like my mask is still upside down, so whatever, right? So this is one of those beautiful things that happens when you take notes. You know, hopefully you remember and you're like, wow, Roger's name sounds familiar. And then there was that really vivid description of the older boys smashing the sandcastles down at the beach, right? And us growing up in Hawaii, right? We know that that is like the most jacked up thing you can do. Like, I'm pretty sure moms would be beefing out on top of, at the beach going, hey, your kid went smash my kid's sandcastle, right? I mean, that would be like, put up your dukes, right? So that should have like been pressed into your memory, right? Let's move on. Lele, you have something to add with this? Roger is quite conflicted in his actions.
Yeah, so in the beginning, we see him as someone who's like more of a bully, but he doesn't really hate anyone. Like, he's not a bad guy. He's just like being a little kid that's mean. But in these chapters, he kind of turned into someone that like actually means harm. And yeah, like adding on to what McKenna said, like that shows the evolution of their time on the island and how it affects them.
That's a good word, evolution, yeah. They go from being these prim and proper public school kid or private school kids to complete hooligans. All right, Malia, go ahead.
I said he was like more of a follower than a leader because I feel like he goes towards the side that he thinks will win in a way, and I guess he wants that victory. So like how he's just kind of obeying whatever Jack says and stuff, and like becoming more reckless as he goes. And I think they mentioned something about how he has a double sided spear or something about that. I don't know, but I think there's like some kind of symbolic thing.
Love that. I love that you picked out perhaps a potential symbolism, right? And I think that you might be absolutely correct about that, right? What is that double-edged spear, right? That spear sharpened at both ends. What does that mean? Malia, do you have something about that? Any thoughts?
Not as of right now, no.
Like, what would that double-edged spear represent? Anybody want to? Yes, Tehani.
I think that, so how Gracie said that like he showed his civilization, civility. He showed his civility when he would like throw the stones and miss on purpose, and that represents only one side of the spear because you can always look back at the other side and it's dull, like there's no spear on it. But then if there's two, that means there's no escape from his like savage ways because it's all power already. He killed somebody.
And this is why this feels like an honors class. We have Malia going, oh, look at this symbol, right? We have McKenna saying, you know what? This reminded me of when Roger was stomping sandcastles, right? And then let's move on. Very good. And then, I think this is just amazing. I try to tell my teacher friends how well these like class discussions are in period 5, and I can't do it justice. Like I think if other teachers were to hear these discussions, they would be like, what the heck? They just came like this, right? Okay, so Uakea, go ahead, talk stories with us.
So I wrote about how when the twins are captured, they were, and Ralph came to
Hey,
visit
Muty
them.
McFly, you're on mute.
Oh, I am?
I'm on mute.
Oh,
Sorry. Now I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So I talked about how when Ralph went to go visit Sam and Eric, they were talking about how Roger would hurt them, not, you know, and that's kind of like a symbolism that Roger's kind of the executor. That's what he reminded me of, like, and it's weird because Jack's the leader, right? Wouldn't you be more scared of Jack? But they're scared of Roger. And like everyone else is saying, I think he's kind of bringing out the bully that is harnessed. It's harnessed. Almost everyone has a bully inside them, but this bully inside of him was not harnessed. And it took a while actually for him to get like that. And it's like, you want to be mad at Roger, you want to be mad at Jack, but it's also not, you can't be mad at them because it's the island kind of that's making them do this. I wanted to be mad, but I'm like, it's weird, you know.
I'm in class going, whoa. Why? Because you're absolutely, I think that's spot on. Like you wanna say something like, wow, Roger needs to go to jail, you know, but really, is it his fault? Very interesting. Very cool. Who's next? Kamakani, go ahead.
I just thought that he was like a really cruel person, and he was like an older brat, and he didn't really deserve to be on that island, really, because he was mainly self-centered, and he focused on like ways to like improve himself. Like he was an opportunist. And yeah, I don't like him at all.
An opportunist. Is that a Membean word? Because it is a really good word, right? Those people that just see these like openings and take full advantage of it. Wow. Tehani, go ahead. Very good.
From the beginning, I just said he was so unnecessary. He didn't have to push the boulder down. But anyway, I said that he's a true representation of someone who has temperance and knows his limits. Like I always thought of him as like a school bully who hurts people to a certain extent, but knows when to stop. Because I think like all bullies know when it's enough. And then like in chapter 11, he's like, he doesn't pay attention to that anymore, and he has no restraint, or he doesn't pay attention to the values that were instilled in him before they got to the island. And that's crazy.
Yep. The lack of restraint or the non-existence of the restraint is spooky, right? Kaike, do you have something to add?
I don't know about anything new. I'd just be saying like pretty much nailed it. Roger was pretty fine in the beginning of the story. He didn't really stick out much. And then towards the end of the story and midway through the book as well, we see him kind of succumbing to the forces of evil or the forces of Jack's brutality. And yeah. And he really becomes, I think, when he killed Piggy with the stone, he also crushed the conch, which knowledge and insight, which is Piggy, but also that that leadership role, like not like what a good leader would be, which what is Ralph? Because Ralph kind of was part of the conch shell, and Jack was using that to his advantage towards the end of the story, because Jack wasn't holding the same power that he did before with fear. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, McKenna.
I want to add on to Kaike about his the power that Jack now holds, and it questions, or question I have is what if the opportunity were for them to be saved, would Jack and some of the other boys take it? Because Jack now holds all this power and control over, you know, a group that he finally gets to have, like how he wanted in the beginning. And even for Roger too, like, does he want to go back and then someone snitch on him saying that he killed a boy and he go to, like, you know, Julie or something? Yeah, so it's like, yeah, that's the question I have.
I just realized that after he said that he crushed the conch, like I knew what the representation was, but I realized that Piggy was the one that was holding it, and throughout the whole book, he was the one who was so anal about like what the conch represents. Like, I have the conch, it's my turn to talk, and then he dies with it. So it's like that representation is totally gone. It doesn't matter anymore.
Bingo. B-I-N-G-O. Bingo. Okay. One last thing. One last, I guess, great segue into the Piggy Piggy question. And that is final thoughts on Piggy. Go ahead. We'll start with, is it helpful for you guys to type it in first? Kind of. Well, let's try this then. Malia, go ahead. You start first. Piggy, what do you have to say about Piggy?
Okay, so Piggy, I felt really, really bad for him towards the end because of what happened. And especially when they got attacked and how they took away his glasses and how that huge symbolism that showed up with the fire and how they saw it as the fire, not just his glasses and stuff. But I feel, yeah, I think my feelings towards him was just really, I guess, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but I was empathizing with him and I felt kind of sad for him because he didn't deserve that, and he was just trying to make things right. So yeah.
So there's a word called indignant, and the word indignant means that you have this, like, it's almost like an anger or a rage against something that's completely unfair. Okay, so that might be the word, maybe, that, you know, that this is really such a shame for him to die when he was trying to just help everyone, right? So yeah, the word indignant would be a word that a lot of people feel when they see something on the news that's not fair, and that did not have to happen, that's unnecessary, right? So who else would like to add something about Piggy? Anybody else?
Piggy, he held on to reasoning and by like holding on, meaning holding on to the conch. And that's all he had left, was because of the rule that whoever gets to hold the conch gets to talk. Like, he still kept holding on to that rule. And once the two tribes like split, that's when the rules split apart. And Piggy didn't get to like quite realize that. But he's the one who had, you know, the smarts and the ideas, and he was a good character, a good guy. And for him to just like die like that, I don't know if Ralph's tribe was gonna be able to survive, or if Ralph might be able to survive on his own.
Right, Tehani?
Also, Ralph, throughout the whole book, he's kind of like, everyone makes fun of Piggy, so he like pitches in and makes fun of him. But I think he actually genuinely cares about him. Like, I don't know what Ralph would do without him, like McKenna said. Also, William Golding just had to kill off both of my favorite characters. Yeah.
Right. Like I think the personalities of this class in particular would actually be friends with those two kids. Like I think each and every one of you guys would be like, yeah, those are my friends. Like you would be actual friends with the kids that passed away. I mean, were murdered. Let's just say what it is. Okay, one more person, and we're gonna move on. Anybody? Okay, I guess not. Okay, we'll move on. So what I want us to do, okay, so I really want us to finish this book together. Okay, so we're gonna say goodbye to the island. So we're going to start just a little bit ways back. So go to page 199. Okay, so does everybody have their book? And it's gonna be the second full paragraph where it says the ululation spread. So you guys know what ululation is? Ululation, if you were to search it up on YouTube, there is a 30-second clip of an ululation. But it's basically when you guys used to play like cowboys and Indians kind of, and you guys used to be like that's what ululation is. And again, if this were like a regular school year, anytime the word ululation would come up, we would be making that noise in class. Okay, I was like, I wouldn't, but I wouldn't. I would just pretend to. But yeah, we'd be doing that along with the incantations of kill the beast, right? We would have done that as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to just read along as I play the audio book, okay, so that we can have this moment together. Okay, so did everybody find where we're going to start at on page 199? Yeah, okay. I didn't press that button. Hang on. Oh, I did. Okay, here we go. Ooh, can you guys also do me a favor and go to your canvas? Oh, I need to move this thing. Okay. So if you go to your canvas and then it's the second, the final thoughts of Lord of the Flies. Okay. So you guys might want to like type something into the text box here as you're listening and following along with the last part. Okay, so as we finish the Lord of the Flies, I want you guys to capture your final thoughts of William Golding's novel, The Lord of the Flies. What was the greatest lesson you took from this novel? Okay, and then start to think about who you would like to interview on the island. Okay, here we go. Malia, can you give me a thumbs up when I start the play button for the sound?
The ululation spread from shore to shore. The savage knelt down by the edge of the thicket, and there were lights flickering in the forest behind him. You could see a knee disturb the mold. Now the other. 2 hands, a spear, a face. The savage peered into the obscurity beneath the thicket. You could tell that he saw light on this side and on that, but not in the middle. There, in the middle was a blob of dark, and the savage wrinkled up his face, trying to decipher the darkness. The seconds lengthened. Ralph was looking straight into the savage's eyes. Don't scream. You'll get back. Now he's seen you. He's making sure. A stick sharpened. Ralph screamed, a scream of fright and anger and desperation. His legs straightened. The screams became continuous and foaming. He shot forward, burst the thicket, was in the open, screaming, snarling, bloody. He swung the stake and the savage tumbled over, but there were others coming toward him, crying out. He swerved as a spear flew past and then was silent, running. All at once, the lights flickering ahead of him merged together. The roar of the forest rose to thunder, and a tall bush directly in his path burst into a great fan-shaped flame. He swung to the right, running desperately fast, with the heat beating on his left side and the fire racing forward like a tide. The ululation rose behind him and spread along, a series of short, sharp cries, the sighting call. A brown figure showed up at his right and fell away. They were all running, all crying out madly. He could hear them crashing in the undergrowth, and on the left was the hot, bright thunder of the fire. He forgot his wounds, his hunger and thirst, and became fear. Hopeless fear on flying feet, rushing through the forest toward the open beach. Spots jumped before his eyes and turned into red circles that expanded quickly till they passed out of sight. Below him, someone's legs were getting tired, and the desperate ululation advanced like a jagged fringe of menace and was almost overhead. He stumbled over a root, and the cry that pursued him rose even higher. He saw a shelter burst into flames, and the fire flapped at his right shoulder, and there was the glitter of water. Then he was down, rolling over and over in the warm sand, crouching with arm to ward off, trying to cry for mercy. He staggered to his feet, tensed for more terrors, and looked up at a huge peaked cap. It was a white-topped cap, and above the green shade of the peak was a crown, an anchor, gold foliage. He saw white drill, epaulettes, a revolver, a row of gilt buttons down the front of a uniform. A naval officer stood on the sand, looking down at Ralph in wary astonishment. On the beach behind him was a cutter, her bows hauled up and held by 2 ratings. In the stern sheets, another rating held a submachine gun. The ululation faltered and died away. The officer looked at Ralph doubtfully for a moment, then took his hand away from the butt of the revolver. "Hello?" Squirming a little, conscious of his filthy appearance, Ralph answered shyly. "Hello?" The officer nodded, as if a question had been answered. "Are there any adults, any grown-ups with you?" Dumbly, Ralph shook his head. He turned a half-pace on the sand. A semicircle of little boys, their bodies streaked with colored clay, sharp sticks in their hands, were standing on the beach making no noise at all. "Fun and games," said the officer. The fire reached the coconut palms by the beach and swallowed them noisily. A flame, seemingly detached, swung like an acrobat and licked up the palm heads on the platform. The sky was black. The officer grinned cheerfully at Ralph. "We saw your smoke. What have you been doing, having a war or something?" Ralph nodded. The officer inspected the little scarecrow in front of him. The kid needed a bath, a haircut, a nose wipe, and a good deal of ointment. "Nobody killed, I hope? Any dead bodies?" "Only 2, and they've gone." The officer leaned down and looked closely at Ralph. 2? Killed? Ralph nodded again. Behind him, the whole island was shuddering with flame. The officer knew as a rule when people were telling the truth. He whistled softly. Other boys were appearing now, tiny tots some of them, brown with the distended bellies of small savages. One of them came close to the officer and looked up. I'm... But there was no more to come. Percival Remus Madison sought in his head for an incantation that had faded clean away. The officer turned back to Ralph. "We'll take you off. How many of you are there?" Ralph shook his head. The officer looked past him to the group of painted boys. "Who's boss here?" "I am," said Ralph loudly. A little boy who wore the remains of an extraordinary black cap on his red hair and who carried the remains of a pair of spectacles at his waist started forward, then changed his mind and stood still. "We saw your smoke, and you don't know how many of you there are?" "No, sir." "I should have thought," said the officer as he visualized the search before him. "I should have thought that a pack of British boys, you're all British, aren't you, would have been able to put up a better show than that. I mean..." "It was like that at first," said Ralph. "Before things..." He stopped. "We were together then." The officer nodded helpfully. I know, jolly good show like the Coral Island. Ralph looked at him dumbly. For a moment he had a fleeting picture of the strange glamour that had once invested the beaches. But the island was scorched up like dead wood. Simon was dead, and Jack had... The tears began to flow, and sobs shook him. He gave himself up to them now for the first time on the island. Great shuddering spasms of grief that seemed to wrench his whole body. His voice rose under the black smoke before the burning wreckage of the island, and infected by that emotion, the other little boys began to shake and sob too. And in the middle of them, with filthy body, matted hair and unwiped nose, Ralph wept for the end of innocence, the darkness of man's heart, and the fall through the air of the true, wise friend called Piggy. The officer, surrounded by these noises, was moved and a little embarrassed. He turned away to give them time to pull themselves together and waited, allowing his eyes to rest on the trim cruiser in the distance.
Alrighty. Yes, so dramatica, like to the fullest extent. Okay, so go ahead and get into your canvas. Final thoughts on Lord of the Flies. Go ahead and type that in there, and then answer that second question as well. Who would you like to interview? The person can be dead or alive. Simon, huh? Hmm. So what we're gonna do is basically we're going to break up the I guess the partners between the cohorts. So you three in class right now will be interviewing 2 characters, okay? And then you guys in cohort B, you're gonna pair up, okay? So we're gonna have Kaike and Lele, you guys are going to be working together on this, okay? And then Uakea and Malia, you're going to be working together, okay? If you guys, you're gonna have to figure out which character you want to interview, okay? So you're just gonna have one reporter and basically the one character, okay? So you're gonna have to talk stories about that. Is everybody done with their reflection? Okay, all right. So what I'm gonna have you guys do is go to the next part of Canvas. It's the last part, it's the interview. Okay, and then you guys can go ahead and click on this worksheet. You're only gonna need one worksheet for each partner or group. So the 3 of you in class will just have that one, okay? And then, but you guys are going to be interviewing 2 people, so you need to make 2 charts, okay? So, okay. Add another one. Oh no, did we lose Kaike again? Bummers. Okay. Let's see. Oh, there you are. Where is? That's so weird. Okay, there should be. Let me just recreate. Here. Okay. Okay, how's it going? Did you guys make you're gonna make one copy? I'm just gonna go through this worksheet and then the rubric, and then the rest of the time is yours to figure out what you guys are gonna do. Okay, and then next cohort B. So tonight, if you can take care of your membean, then cohort B is all of your time to work on the interview. Okay, so let's look over the interview worksheet first of all. So it says, so this partner project, you're going to be interviewing a witness. In the past, this assignment has become super crazy. All right. You're going to select a setting and one character. Okay. There's going to be a minimum of 5 questions. So it just depends on how you roll out your questions. And then both students have to be in character. So if you are the actual interviewer or the reporter, you have to be in character. Okay. And then one of you guys will have to be the boy on the island. Okay. Or it just depends who you choose, right? So you could choose the naval officer who found the kids on the island, right? We're going to just pretend that there is a trial going on for the murders of Simon and Piggy. Okay, and the disappearance of the boy with the mulberry birthmark. Okay, so if you guys are the reporters, which kid would you interview, or which character would you interview? Now, it's going to be a little bit tricky because you could possibly interview Piggy or Simon as well. Okay. The three of you guys in class, since you guys are all working together, you'll have one reporter and then two characters. Okay, so you can figure that one out. In the past, a naval officer was interviewed, which is really interesting. Other characters, Sam and Eric were interviewed. The Beast was interviewed. Sky's the limits with this. So the creativity is really in your control. The other thing is the setting. Okay, where are you going to meet? At a coffee house, in an undisclosed location, so you guys are able to play around with, like, your Snapchat filters or whatever filters you guys can use. You should have things at home that you guys could use to help make you guys be in character. Okay, or you can change the background in your Zooms if you would like to as well. There's that. So you're gonna have to figure this stuff out. So this is kind of like a 2-part assignment. You're gonna have to write out your script basically, okay? And then the other part is to actually pull this together into a video. That's why throughout the semester we've been trying to get more like video things in, okay, so that you guys could do this. So anybody have any questions before we go into our breakout room so you guys can talk stories and brainstorm? Okay, just share that one worksheet between the 2 of you or 3 of you, okay? Alrighty, here's your breakout room. Don't forget to add your names on your worksheet, okay? Okay, I have a feeling you guys might choose the 2 characters that I think you guys are going to choose. Who are you guys thinking of interviewing?
Simon for sure.
Okay.
I wanted to interview Ralph to see the just the diagnosis that they had, like how he felt with all the trauma going on with his mind.
Cool.
But also the officer, like,
Ooh.
when did they see, this
Mhm.
sign? Did they see it before, or did they say, oh, maybe it's just like, fire, we can go figure it out later?
Right.
Yeah, because I was thinking, because he's like, oh, fun and games. Like, did he actually realize what was going on?
Mhm.
And when they said they killed the 2, he's like, 2?
Only my opinion on this.
Oh,
What do
no,
you want to
no,
do?
no. Anyone is fine because all of them have a lot of, you know, layers to them that we could. I'm fine with anything else.
Okay. Do you want to be the interviewer or the interviewee?
What do you want to be?
No, I don't care.
Well, did you have like questions for Ralph? I'm sure you had like.
Not yet, but I was like just thinking about.
Hi guys, what's going on? You guys good? Where's Lele? Did she go bathroom?
I don't know. She
Oh,
probably did.
okay. Who are
Oh,
you
there
thinking
she
about
is.
interviewing? Oh, there's Lele. Hi, Lele.
Piggy. Do you want me to make a copy and just send it to you, or do you want to?
I made it. Hang on, I'm sharing.
You shared it already? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's sharing right now.
Does it say how old Piggy is? Miss Kawatu?
Say that again.
Does it say in the book how old he is exactly?
Who? Which
Or
one?
Piggy.
No, it doesn't say, but you would imagine that he's probably somewhere between 6th and 8th grade, right? Maybe not even 6th grade, maybe 7th, 8th grade. Okay. Maybe 9th grade, right? He was one of the bigger boys. Okay. So use your imagination, especially like in your interview, like you could just pretend, right, that they open the case back up, right? And so he could be like a really old man at this point. Okay, so it just depends. Maybe he survived, right? He just got washed out to sea. Okay.
To ask her that because I don't know if we're allowed to make up stuff or not. Okay, it says
Okay,
not.
so you can it's called synthesizing information, right? So let's say who'd you guys choose to interview?
Rao.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so what if there was never a case, right? And then they opened it back up, and then you're the reporter tracking these boys down, right? And now they're like old men, right? That would be really interesting.
Yeah,
30 years from now, you know.
yeah, we were thinking like doing it kind of like a few years after the fact
Okay,
that they came back, and I guess when he's more older, because we wanted to make up like the story of how he wrote a book about it.
Perfect.
And we wanted to ask him the question, what did you do after coming back from the island and stuff?
So this is where the creativity comes into play. Is if you look at the rubric, right, you should be able to synthesize the story, right? Because you know what happened in the story. Okay, so that's perfect, right?
Okay.
Do these young boys get married, or do they become weirdos? Yeah, I would think it'd be weirdos, right? So
I was wondering, maybe Ralph never wanted to talk about it again. Like maybe he would, or maybe.
I know there's so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to nail down some things, right? So that's where in the top of that worksheet, I would just start brainstorming ideas. Okay. And then highlight the ones that you're like, you know what, that's pretty cool. So maybe what you guys got to do is both of you guys just type in some ideas.
Okay.
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 Yeah. I cannot wait for you guys to do this. I think it's going to be very cool. Okay. How's it going? Are you guys just kind of typing some things in? Okay, so the top of the worksheets for you guys to brainstorm, yeah? So you guys can like type in ideas and then go through the process of highlighting the ideas that you do like. Okay, and then come together. Are you guys doing okay? Are you guys getting along? Okay. Just checking. Okay, so who's gonna play Piggy?
I'll play Piggy.
Yay! Okay, perfect.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are we going to interview him like as the age he is now, or like is he dead already? Are we interviewing a ghost?
Yes, you're gonna interview the ghost of Piggy. Very good. So the ghost of Piggy can be at any age. You have to choose. Okay.
Because now if we interview a living one, like years later.
What age do you want Piggy to be?
I just put 13.
Okay.
I feel like that's a fair age, right?
You guys, there's gonna be a Samoa News Part 2. Samoa News Part 2.
Okay, so character one. Okay, wait. So are we doing Jack and Ralph?
Okay, I have another idea.
Okay, what is it?
So we're gonna split the questions up in 3 years. So the first two questions we're gonna have the first year, and he's going to answer those two questions. The second year we're gonna have the two questions or two more questions, and then the last year we're gonna have like the winning question. And we're gonna see his progress through the years, I guess.
Okay, and who's gonna play the character?
I haven't figured that out yet.
Because you know you should have like a young boy's outfit or whatever, and then like an older man, and then maybe like a tutu sweater, you know, like and like you gotta
Oh,
get into character. Yeah, it's something has to indicate, right? Glasses, you know, no glasses, glasses, and then like whatever the demeanor, right?
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. So who are you guys interviewing?
wow.
Okay.
We also thought of dreams. we wanted
What do you mean by that?
like kind of like you know how in those angst stories they always have those bad dreams after something traumatic happens, and then it doesn't help their sleep schedule. They can't really do anything during the day because of these bad dreams and stuff. And
Okay.
we wanted to do like how he gets reminded of Piggy when he sees glasses or something.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, so you could be like, excuse me, could you please take your glasses off? It is a very traumatic experience for me. You guys better practice your accents because they're British boys. Samoa News is going to be interviewing some British boys here. Samoa News is coming back, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yay. Favorite news show.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
What is it called? We could, throughout the years that we interview him, so we're going to be interviewing him a few times. We don't have to point out his dreams. We could just like the first time we visit him, he would be like tired and be like, sorry, I had bad dreams last night, so I didn't get good rest. And then the next year, he could be like a little bit less, like, I don't know. And then the last year, he could either be fully cured, well, not cured, but like, you know,
Yeah, we could do
he's,
that.
yeah,
Like character development through the years.
yeah.
But it wouldn't be character development, it's just
But we-
Well, obviously he's gonna have to deal with trauma,
Mhm.
right? And so quite interesting. You're gonna have to play with like if you have Snapchat or if you have like a voiceover, that would be cool.
Oh, like,
Yeah. So if are you guys good at iMovie?
I'm good at After Effects.
Okay, if you are good at After Effects, right? Then okay, you're gonna have to be the over voice. No, I don't know. With a British accent, okay? Okay.
Do we have
Yes.
to?
What? Yes, that's in character. This is gonna be great. Hello, we just saw someone news, okay? This is a safe space. I cannot wait. Okay, I was like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? Well, you know what? Kamakani's over here partially dying of embarrassment, but we're trying to make him feel okay over here.
Oh. We're rooting for him. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, Kamakani, they said they're rooting for you. They're saying bring it.
For sure.
Okay.
Now we need to figure out who's gonna be the interviewer and who's gonna be Ralph. I don't know. I feel like you have to because I have my classes.
You know what would be hilarious if like Auntie Maria Lani interviewed the you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hey boy,
Oh yeah, we could. Oh,
have you ever seen Auntie Maria Lani's kitchen? Rap Linger? Go look it up. Oh my gosh. She plays a cook and she cooks the chicken for I don't know what is it 10,000 degrees for 3 minutes or I don't know, you got to look at it. But you could have like a tutu lady interviewing the boys and so the accents could be hilarious.
Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to put okay. Mm,
You don't have to do it, but it would be hilarious, right? I mean, if Kamakani's gonna be playing Samoa News, I think you gotta bring out something else.
mhm.
How's it going?
In the interview, you have the glasses.
Okay. Okay, so what are some of your ideas you guys have?
Like questions, ideas for questions.
Yeah, or you know, the scenario, the setting.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we were just gonna interview his ghost
Okay.
and then ask him questions on like what would he have done different.
Okay.
Like one of the questions was, did you want to be a leader? What would you have done differently if you were a leader?
Mm.
Another question that I had is, do you think that the conch played an important role in the order on the island?
Mm.
Yeah.
Cool. Pretty good questions. Who's playing? Okay, so you're playing Piggy. Okay. Practice your British accent. Hey, someone news is coming back. I mean, we got it. Okay. Lele. So I'm not sure if you guys are, where are you guys going to be? Are you guys going to be like in in, are you gonna be at the, like, the graveyard? It would be cool to interview Piggy's auntie too.
Yeah, we have that.
Ooh, really?
We were going to,
Mm-hmm.
Or we have that down as one of the
Options. Oh, that might be cool.
now we're Jack and Ralph in a mental institute.
Holy cow. Okay.
Karaoke. Oh, dear.
With product. Someone knows. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna stop the so that you guys can share out a little bit. What time is it? Oh my gosh, we're done. What the heck? Ugh. This always happens. Okay, we're gonna stop the breakout rooms. Just close out the class. Okay, let's say bye to our friends. Okay, so tomorrow, where's everybody? Where those two go? It's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now. What's your talent? Are you gonna dance? Tahitian.
But the last one I
Oh.
ran and
Okay, guys, tomorrow morning when we meet up again, be ready to share out your ideas to the rest of the class on what you guys are thinking about doing. Okay, and then I'm just gonna open up the room so that you guys can work. Okay, so we're gonna share this out next class period. Okay. I'm trying to figure out if we should just do this live. You know, because the videos is like kind of messy at times. So you know what? I'm gonna change that to just, you're gonna do it live. Kamakani's dying again. You gotta bring that hat without the snaps connected. That was Cherry. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do this live next week, but tomorrow let's just meet here so that you guys can talk stories with each other, okay? And then we're good to go. Don't forget to do your membing. And yeah. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.